of years of slavery and colonialist domination. We are now politically free in an independent nation. The dreams of our forefathers have finally come true, and the battle that they have fought are now benefiting me and you. If you really want to show your appreciation, raise your voices with me, and this pledge, let's sing along. We pledge to be good citizens from now on, casting away victimization. Corruption will cease, nepotism decrease throughout the whole nation. Our country then will be not just a society, but a just society. Let this be our pledge. But please beware, my countrymen, of the trappings of false liberty. For true liberation does not only lie in constitutionality. We have gained nothing if all we do is pass from bondage to a subtler task. We're foreign shots with their fangs exposed, surround us with promises of a brighter world. Oh, much too long have we the yoke of slavery borne. Now that master days have gone, there's place to set right all the wrong. We pledge to be good citizens from now on, casting away victimization. Corruption will cease, nepotism decrease throughout the whole nation. Our country then will be not just a society, but a just society. Let this be our pledge. Gird up your lines, ever vigilant be, to curb injustice, graft and vagrancy. The right of each one must be recognized, so that none will feel they ostracized. Equal opportunity for everyone, each giving the other a helping hand. We want no more exploitation from either foreign or the local. In our land, for our children, yet and dance, let's play and tell our freedom. We pledge to be good one, casting away victimization. Corruption will cease, nepotism decrease throughout the whole nation. Our country then will be not just a society, but a just society.
Turn alarm, turn alarm.
I salute. I salute.
Yes, Sons of the Man King Short Shirt, Brother Emmanuel there. This is our pledge to stand up and do the right thing by our citizens and our beloved federation. I'm DJ Marisha, and I'm coming to you live and direct from my bunker this evening here in the Republic of St. Paul, St. Kitts. It's yet another lovely Wednesday evening here in St. Kitts. And we got a very interesting program this evening, a continuation from last week. I'm going to drop another track before I get into my chit chat. But before I drop that track, I know many of you might be roaming the web and just bump into us and might be wondering what this program is all about. So just to get that out of the way and drop this clip so that you guys could know what this podcast is all about. Stand by.
Wednesday evenings are heating up. Log on to DJ Marishall's Facebook Live broadcast every Wednesday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. It's a frank and a candid exploration into the social, cultural, political, and economic issues affecting our federation. And just in case you missed it, you can also catch the broadcast on his YouTube channel, DJ Marishall. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube and smash that bell. You will be notified whenever he goes live. DJ Marishall, every Wednesday evening, Facebook 6 to 8 p.m. or thereafter on his YouTube channel, DJ Marishall. Log on.
You got that, and DJ Marisha is here every Wednesday evening, live and lively, from the hours of 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. St. Kitts Nevis time. And if you miss us here and Facebook as the access, you can find us definitely on YouTube following the program. Now let's take a skip across it to the sister island, Queen City, Nevis, and hear what my boy Carbo have to tell us this evening.
Cabos, located at Fountain Village in Nevis, is the go-to spot for your Saturday treat. Tantalize your taste buds with his delectable Cabos Delicacy Goat Water. Or, if you prefer some soul food, then Cabos Punji and Fish is definitely the way to go. Call ahead and reserve at 869-663-9694. Then make your way over to Cabos and enjoy the vibrant atmosphere while you savor your delicacy. Cabos, we are not changing, we are only improving.
Food all over, food all over. You got the food all over.
You got that right. They have food all over the Federation. Carbo right here in Nevis, available to you for any anniversaries or special occasion. You can get your special goat water cooked. You can also get your fungi and fish, whatever your heart desire. definitely you can have that. But we also have Sister Carmen right here in St. Kitts. So let's hear what Sister Carmen have to say of Carmen Caterers.
Girl Sandra, you know where you can find nice fresh local food 7 days a week, one provision and all kind of thing. Girl, where? Right down there by Shellings, by Carmen Catering Services. Girl, she opposite the bus stop. Girl, and she also cater for weddings, parties, anything you want to cater for, funeral and all. Girl, and trust me, you're gonna enjoy the food. And she also selling bites and Sundays. Opposite the car shop, right down the main road. Girl, you could call 665-1494 or 663-6005 to order your food or go and pick up your food. Girl, the food will be finger licking and you get your money worth. You ain't want nothing better than that.
That's right, and Sister Carmen is right there at Shirley, right opposite the West Ferry Terminal from Monday to Saturday, midday until about 5 p.m. You can check her there for some lovely dishes. We also have Carmen over there in Boyd's Village on a Sunday afternoon for lunch from midday until around 5 p.m. as well. So check out Sister Carmen and let her know DJ Marisha sent you. Now, I also have a good buddy there across there in Nevis that have some good business strategies. So let's hear what Brother Daniel have to tell us this evening.
Welcome to Strategies for Business Success, right here on 2020visionradio.com and on 102.1 FM with business development advocate Daniel Arthurton. Each week, Danny will build on a foundation to ensure your success in business. Being in business can be daunting, and Strategies for Business Success can help you avoid the pitfalls. Join Danny right here on 2020visionradio.com, on 102.1 FM, and on your other social media platforms every Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. That's right, Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. The time and place for your business dreams to come true.
Yes, that's what Brother Danny tell you. And guess what? Let's take a quick run across here to St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, and hear what my boy Malvern Gums have to say about the DJ.
Hey, this is Malvern from Spectrum Band, and you're listening to DJ Marisha, playing you the best in Caribbean music.
You got that?
Hey, this is Malvern from Spectrum Band, and you're locked into DJ Marisha. Keep it locked.
Right there, you don't move that dial. And my good people, this evening, I'm going to jump straight into Brother Dwyer Astafan's commentary for this evening. Very interesting commentary, and he's hitting this one out of the park. So let's take a quick listen to Dwyer while I organize myself here.
Greetings. Today, I invite you to discuss freedom of information. Freedom of information is a constitutional right. We can find it at Section 12 of our Constitution. And Section 12, among other things, states that unless a person, any person, otherwise consents, he or she shall not be hindered in the enjoyment of his or her freedom to receive ideas and information. Of course, this right is not absolute. No constitutional right is. It is subject to and restricted by the protection of critical interests of the state. For example, where it is reasonable to restrict our individual rights in situations of national defense, public safety, public order, public morality, public health. And also, our rights are restricted by the necessity to observe and protect the rights of others. But these restrictions must be reasonably justifiable in a democratic society. Democracy is built upon information and enlightenment of the public. That is what it should be. Now, the Freedom of Information Act states at Section 4 that every person shall have the right to access information held by public bodies. So the Constitution says we have the right to receive, and the access we have the right to access. In my view, they work hand in hand, and the Act does not try to override, and it can't, the Constitution. Let me simplify it. In a democratic society, individuals have the general right to know what is happening in public bodies. We have the right to know what is going on with our money, who are the people in the service, what they're doing What are we getting for the investment that we are making in them? I want you to remember this. Anytime politicians and others in high places are reluctant or evasive with, or otherwise hinder or block transparency and good governance, you can fairly conclude that they have something to hide. And democracy is not about hiding. Democracy is about putting things in the light of day so the people see and know and can make more enlightened decisions in their own cause. And if people in positions of trust on your behalf demonstrate that reluctance and evasiveness and so on, then you must block them from ever holding positions of trust on your behalf. You cannot put the wolf to guard the sheep. You cannot put the rat to guard the cheese. In 2018, the Harris administration introduced the Freedom of Information Act to Parliament but never brought it into law, just as the previous Douglas administration had done in 2013 with the Integrity in Public Life Act. In both cases, it was a show. There was no evidence of intent to bring these things into the force of law, just a show. So the present Drew administration is the one that passed the Freedom of Information Act into law, and this was done in December of 2023. I have thus far made 2 requests under this act, and I received information on the first request. Let's discuss the second case, but let's first consider a few relevant parts of the act. Section 4 states that every person shall have the right to freedom of information, including the right to access information held by public bodies, subject to the provisions of the act. Let's remember this, subject to the provisions of the act. Fine. Section 5A states that the person making the request shall be entitled to be advised whether or not the particular public body holds a record containing the information requested, and if it can be derived from the record that they have. While Section B states that if the public body does not hold such a record, the person making the request is entitled to be so informed. Section 9(1) states that the request for information must be in writing and must be sufficiently detailed so that an experienced official would be able to identify with reasonable effort whether or not the specific body holds the record containing the information that is being sought. And if the request is not sufficiently clear, Section 9 subsection 2 states that an effort has to be made to assist the applicant to get the request. So the tenor of the act, at least initially, is to assist people in accessing information, subject to whatever restrictions there may be. Now, Section 9(4) states that a person requesting information under Section 5(2) of the Act must identify the right which he or she is seeking to exercise or protect. And he or she must also state reasons why the information is required to exercise or protect that right. This is where I have a problem. First, there is no part of the Act that is named Section 5(1) or Section 5(2). Those parts are named as Section 5A and 5B. So that could be a typo or an oversight. I don't know if it is an oversight of sufficient gravity to worry. But I have a problem with Section 9(4). Remember, the Constitution speaks of the right to receive information, and the Act speaks to the right to access the information. The Constitution and the Act both provide for exceptions, but the Act goes further. It wants you to identify your right, which you wish to exercise or protect, and to give reasons for wanting to exercise or protect that right. Why? You already have that right under the Constitution and under the Act, and whether or not you wish to protect that right is entirely up to you. In my opinion, the correct question should be, would the information which you seek be of such a nature that in your possession it would or might be a threat to national defense, safety, order, morality, or health? Or would it be usable as a weapon for you to trample on somebody else's rights? Not for you to prove you have the right and to prove your reasons for wanting to exercise or protect it. It's about the content of the information. And because of this, I would argue that Section 9 subsection 4 is unnecessary. It's oppressive, unfair, and possibly unconstitutional, and can be used as a hindrance to people getting information that we justly and rightly should have. Section 10(1) of the Act states that the public body to which a request is sent must respond within 30 working days of receiving the request. 30 working days. And Section 10 subsection 3 states that a public body may, by notice in writing, within the first 20 days, extend the response to not more than 40 working days. Now, on September 27, 2024, I wrote a letter to the Permanent Secretary in Human Resources requesting a list of the names of all persons on the public payroll of the government, as well as their job designations, the total amount of money paid every month on payroll, the names of all pensioners, and the names and designations of all high commissioners, consuls, and advisors to the federal government, and of course, ambassadors. Up to 20 days passed and I got no response. Nor did I get a notification indicating that there would be an extension. 30 days passed, no response. Finally, on November 4th, 38 days after I'd sent my original letter, I sent a follow-up letter to Human Resources. The government acted in contravention of the Act, but are trying to school me on what the Act requires of me. Finally, on November 11, 2024, I got a response from a lawyer called Christopher Ford in the Attorney General's chambers. No explanation, not even the courtesy to apologize for the failure on HR's part to follow the law and respond to me in a timely manner as required by the law. The letter to me stated that I must identify my right to the information and my reasons for requesting it. In my respectful opinion, a nonsense reply based on a nonsense part of the legislation. I was born in this land. I pay taxes in this land. I've served this country. All of us serve our country in different capacities. So I'm not trying to make myself an exception to anybody. My money and your money pay these people in the public service. From top to bottom, barring none. I want to know who are on the government's payroll, the jobs they do. That is my right and yours. My business and yours. That is our business. It's not the private domain of a few. Worse yet, a few who are eating bread and living high off the hog from our money and our votes. Because when we vote, it is not only those who we elect who get up to the high levels. They walk with their followers on. A lot of people are on the coattails. A lot of people live high off the hog after elections. So we ask questions and we have to get answers. I'll end with this. Matters can be resolved through reasonable dialogue, through the courts, or through the court of public conscience. And we have the right to participate in any of these avenues of resolving problems or in none. A lot of them who are living high off the hog, when it comes to the come to, will fall off the hog's back and drop right in the hog's slop, depending on how things go, whether through reasonable dialogue, whether through the court, or whether through the court of public conscience. I say no more. Thank you.
Yeah, Brother Dwyer, thanks for that in-depth commentary. You have said a mouthful there, Brother Dwyer. I know it was a part of the former administration, Labor administration under Douglas. I do not know if during that time you ever requested or you knew of every employee that worked for the government during that time. And your reasoning for wanting to know every employee at this time, I really do not know. But if you have the right, exercise your rights. But I also have an issue here that I'm appealing to you, Dwyer, to assist me with from your bullhorn. The Edwards family, Hans Edwards, the Buffalo Soldier, the Lord Black, his family have rights as well. And I've been out there fighting the fight to get some clarity and some answers for the family. Because people seems to want me to stop speaking. Well, I must say some people, because the majority of people that have run into me on the street or message me weekly, thanking me for keeping this information going and demanding some answers with what happened to our legend, Lord Black. So Dwyer, let me remind you that you have the information at hand. Hopefully you could fit it into one of your commentary in the coming weeks. If nothing is done, or we don't get any responses. As I said in previous weeks, it's been months. And let me give the exact times that I'm talking about. Months. Today is January 29, 2025. It's been 182 days since Cance Edwards went missing. He went missing on August 1st, 2024, from a home in Sadlers, a care home that he was in for, I understand, for some 4 years. According to information from his family, Cance was living at his home in Middle Island. He had a doctor. He used to do his doctor visit monthly. That doctor recommended to the family that because Cance was diagnosed with dementia, he needed to have around-the-clock care, should not be left alone. Family took the advice, gave the home in question their father, their brother, their uncle, their relative to take care of. I have experience with that home because I had a family staying there, and we paid that home upward of $2,500 a month, and that's at the minimum. I do not know how much Cance Edwards' family was paying. When we talk about round-the-clock care, there's a gentleman claimed to be from Sadler's area, tried to twist and spin my words last week. We were back and forth for a while. He said he wanted the truth. But if he wants the truth, and I want the truth, and I'm trying to demand some information from the police force that are doing the investigation and the Ministry of Health that received several letters asking for some information. I do not know why he don't support, or those individuals out there don't support the call to get some clarity. Just as Dwyer is making claim he wants to know how many people in St. Kitts Nevis that is on government payroll, that is not important to me. Cance Edwards' death, his situation is important to me, right? So everybody have their interests. Cance Edwards is my interest right now. And not because of Cance alone. I need to see some improvement in the healthcare system and the patient that we serve, because you never know. Any one of us can become a patient. I had a good friend that used to be a PS in sports. He was also someone that comes to ZIZ when I worked there, reading the news. He had the situation going out his way, and this guy is a guy that he would meet me at the bus stop from time to time and ask me for 25 cents. I made the mistake one day, give him $1. He told me, no, Mr. Marisha, I asked for a quarter. Don't you have a quarter? And I go into my pocket and I take out the change I had, and I open my hand. He put down the dollar and he took up the quarter. This is the type of person that he was. Now, Cance did not get to that point where I'm concerned. I know he was loved by his family. If none of you love him, he have family that loved him. DJ Marisha love him and still do, and missing him. So back to the conversation. It's been 182 days since Cance went missing from that home. 182 days. He went missing on the 1st of August. He was located on August 9th. 174 days ago. We find him cocked up in the mountain in Sadlers on his back, dead. He was at a home where he should be cared for around the clock, should be monitored around the clock. However, he ended up in the Sadlers Mountain, only God knows, but that's where we found him dead. It's been 162 days since his funeral. Funeral took place on August 21, 2024. It's been more than 20 weeks since the Ministry of Health received At least 3 letters that I'm aware of. Seeking some clarification, seeking answers in regards to the investigation. And it's a lot of stuff that we heard during the search for Consino. All kind of mixed information, conflicting information. I'm not going to come here in this podcast with those information. I leave that to the Ministry of Health and the police to speak to the family, because they were there when we heard all of those conflicting information. And for the life of me, I don't understand what is taking the police so long to wrap up this report, because it's a straightforward case. Straightforward case. I can say when I went to the Ministry of Health to drop those letters off that I dropped there, I spoke to the CMO. She was very affectionate. She was very apologetic. She said, Mr. Marisha, I already sent out a team to that home to do an investigation. As soon as they come back with their report, I'll put it together and submit it to the PS, or the acting PS at the time. I do not know if he was placed permanent as yet, but the acting PS. But you're going to tell me now, over 20 weeks, that's how long it takes to reach out to the family, to have a dialogue with the family, to get whatever information you need to get from the family, or to give them whatever information you got, or try to explain to them what is happening. My good people, my position on this whole matter is, when it was time to collect money monthly from the family of Cancer Edwards, the owner of that home, who is a doctor, who have a responsibility to take care of their parents. Doctors take oath. They know what they're supposed to do. And if you are going to be the person that collects the money, then you are responsible and should be held accountable for actions such as this. You can't just throw back your door, take in people, do as you please, and somebody get injured in your property or disappear and go and missing, and it's, you clap your hand and it's done? No. You must give answers. Those medical records must be seen. You're talking about some 4 years in your facility. As a matter of fact, to clarify some of the concerns out there, I've said it here before. I work in a healthcare industry. Hospitals, operating room, psych wards, nursing home, whatever. Anytime there's an incident, an incident report has to be written, no matter how simple it is. A record must be open, a chart must be open with that incident report. Medical records must be checked. Employees must be interviewed. Accountability must come. If everything is clear, that facility is not responsible for anything, then we continue with your business. But there must be investigation. Answers must come. Families must get answers. I don't know what's going on in our beloved Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, but we got some folks in this country that it's only when it's beneficial to them, or it affects them, then they run to you for help. Listen to Dwyer commentary today. He's been asking for information about who is employed on the government payroll. He have not received his information. Well, DJ Marisha has been asking for information about Cancer Edwards before that, Dwyer. I started from last August. You are my brethren. You send me your commentaries every week. I spoke to you about cans. I need every citizen's involvement in this situation. As I stated last week, I wrote to the, well, I must say I did not write. I applied to the police department through the application system, online system, paid my fees to get permission to do an awareness march and February the 7th at 4 p.m. starting there at the Circus Club. And for 2 weeks, the application stayed saying pending. I filed that application on the 13th of January. It stayed pending for 2 weeks. On the 24th, last Friday, I received an email saying there was a query that I need to submit a passport size photo in my application. I need to edit it and upload a passport size photo. I did that. It said updated successfully. Well, as of today, before I come live, my application is still in the pending status. I want to know if these police are working or whoever controlling the system are working, or they're trying to get me frustrated and forget about marching. That's not going to happen. I also wonder if they're trying not to give me any long advance notice for me to mobilize people to walk the streets with me. Whatever the situation, the police have asked that the community work with them. And I am asking the same, that the community work with the police. But in situations such as this, you guys are not encouraging. Mr. Commissioner, Deputy Commissioner, and the High Command. Mr. Prime Minister, the NSA, you guys are not encouraging. Because if we are not going to get the corporation of the powers that be to bring clarity and closure to the situation of Cancer Edwards, then it's going to be hell to pay in this country. It's not going to be any rest as long as I have the health and strength to come here and talk. And on Wednesday evening, I'll be here. And if I have to come here every day, I will, whatever it takes. I have seen some stuff taking place, and we're going to talk the things them tonight, you know. We're going to talk the things them tonight because people seem to think because government change, whatever we consider to be wrong under the farmer administration, it's right now without any adjustment. It does not work like that. I'm not here to cuss government. I'm not here to bring down government. I'm here to live up to my promise to the then Dr. Drew, now Prime Minister Drew. When you get in there, please do the right thing. Don't make the mistakes of who was there before. Don't nobody tell you about who did it before. That is why government changed, because we was not happy with what was happening before. That is why there's a change of government. So I don't want to hear they used to do this or they used to do that. It's going on 3 years. Whatever process you guys have to deal with the farm administration, deal with it. I don't need to hear about it week after week. This, that. I don't need to hear it. Do your legal stuff. Time has passed. We don't pass that. Now it's time for your report card, not their report card. We need to hear about your report card. I was never into politics until my good partner there, Timothy Harris, decided to mislead me and lock me down in quarantine unnecessarily when I have some place here I could have stayed. And like I told him, it's nothing personal, but I'm going to deal with the matter. Because never again this country should have to go through what we went through. I don't know how many of you guys remembered. It was a tri-party People's Action Movement, PAM, led by Sean K. Richards. The Concerned Citizen Movement, CCM, who is the current NIA in Nevis. Their leader, Premier Brantley, is the leader of the opposition in the federal cabinet. I mean, federal government, federal parliament. And the PLP, the former Prime Minister Timothy Harris. That was the coalition. Team Unity. And when I was trying to speak truth to power, I was attacked as the fake news media. I was attacked at somebody up in a basement in a attic in New York, in a basement, chatting nonsense until the facts came out and they realized I was right. Government changed because of the way we were treated. Government changed before because of how things was done. And I realized, I asked somebody this week, what is the difference between an older house and a trash house? Because basically, when you look at what's going on in these governments, that's what we're getting. It's like a recycling of these folks. No matter what they come and they campaign on, they get in there and 2 weeks later, we're back to the same old shit. And I am basically getting weary of it. You understand? I think Pam was in there from 1980 to 95 or whenever. But I was there for 15 years before the Labour administration come in with Dr. Denzel Douglas. And millions was wasted on commission of inquiry. I understand some million or more dollars was spent and commission of inquiry that the country could have used. Nobody went jail. Nobody get charged. Nobody arrested. Douglas did 20 years. The team needs to come back. Same last saga. Corruption after corruption. Douglas got in jail. Douglas this, Douglas that. Douglas still here strong. Now, we campaign in 22 about electoral reform, CBI, fake marriages, all kind of stuff we campaign on. The new Labour administration under the leadership of Prime Minister Joe gave us 7 pillars. The campaign strong on them. I was in the trench. I basically gave up everything. Didn't care what happened to me. I went in there with everything to change that administration for better, not for the same nonsense and not for worse. So when you people out there gonna come tell the DJ, you all didn't come and talk to the DJ because I could deal with all you talk on the side of the street because I could answer any one of you. Because under the farm administration, many of you didn't have no tongue, your tongue and your teeth couldn't get along, or your mouth shut tight. Every last one of you who got position now, all of a sudden, or you got strength, or you whisper in corner. Now you gonna come and talk openly with what is going on. Some of you come and ask me, oh, Marisha, why the Prime Minister doing this? I don't speak to the Prime Minister like that. I'm not his advisor. You always right there with him, I ask him the question. There's people who got members in parliament, gonna come to me, Marisha, you should say this on your program. Why should I say something on my program about what you want me to say? When you got people in parliament, let them represent you in there. I come here to speak for the people who don't have a voice in parliament. That is what I am here to do on a Wednesday evening. Not to speak for you all who have people in there. The double standard, the double tongue. You understand? We have too much dangerous people around the Prime Minister, whispering in his ear, and it seems like he fall for the negative because what is sound good to him. He don't realize the damage that they're doing to him. And I will continue to speak truth to power. Because for weeks, it's been too long since the situation with cancer was been going on. And the Prime Minister, as the Minister of National Security and the Minister of Health, should have stepped in by now and call his people in. Call them into his chambers. What the hell is going on here? We need some answers. Because the Prime Minister is looking bad, his ministry is looking like shit. Weeks after weeks, you're getting hit. And you're not going to call in your people and rein them in and say, listen, what is going on here, Mr. Prime Minister? It's weeks after weeks, it's still been going on. So, when I heard some shit last Friday, and this is really what got me even more pissed. You know, when I lie here in my bunker and try to relax and try to analyze why is our country going through this kind of turmoil right now? Because it's self-inflicted. There's no need for us to be going through what we are going through right now. What the country is going through is self-inflicted, and we elected politicians who say that they are experts. They're smart. They're sensible. They got all kind of certificates, university graduates, as I've said before. I've been to school for electrical work. I've been to a lot of courses in various fields. But I didn't spend 4 years sitting down in a university learning politics. Somebody told me it appears I went university in New York for politics because I'm driving every week very hard. But you don't need to go to university to know wrong from right. I mean, we learned that from kindergarten, Sunday school. We will start wrong and right. So you're going to tell me that grown adults do not know wrong from right? I'm going to drop some clips in a bit, you know. And these clips I'm going to drop, some people are going to be happy about them, but they have to be done. Because I happen to be speaking to one of the advisors to the government on Friday. And I had just seen something came across my media from that rag paper, St. Kitts Navy Times, about a Crown Counsel may be arrested or whatever. And I thought it was just garbage. But when I spoke to that individual, and they confirmed what the situation was, I said, well, I'm not going to really touch that topic, you know, because when I touch anything, I touch it fully. I don't want to get into nothing halfway. I don't want nobody to give no message for me. I want you to hear me for yourself. And the person challenged me, wanting to know, well, why you don't want to touch it? I said, well, if I touch that topic, it's going to hit national security. It's going to hit the prime minister. It's going to hit the country. They say, well, you do what you does best, so you need to touch it. So I decided, okay, no problem. So I'm going to touch it. So I'm going to start off with clip 1. I'll let the clip speak for themselves. I'll comment, but I'll let this clips speak for themselves. So clip 1, what I'm speaking about, my good people, for those of you overseas who doesn't understand what's going on in the Federation, there's a lot of shit going on in the Federation, a lot of cover, right? And as one of the person in Parliament said at one of his press conference, they say rich people don't commit crime in St. Kitts Nevis, only poor people. So no matter what crime the rich and the powerful commit, they don't get charged. Poor people try to do the same thing and less, and they charge them within days, within hours. But shit that take months to address, they don't have time for that. You just say something they don't like, they find time to call you into the office to have conversation. But you could try and call them for months to discuss a matter. They don't have the time for you. They're busy. They're in the cloud. But just say something they don't like, they find time to call you the next day. So let's hear from our missing DPP.
Citizens and residents of the Federation of St. Christopher and Nevis and further afield, good day. The purpose of this exercise is to issue my first press release of 2025 from the Director of Public Prosecution's Office of St. Kitts and Nevis. The press release is entitled Director of Public Prosecutions announces charges against Crown Counsel prosecutor. The Director of Public Prosecution's Office, DPPO, announces with profound regret that charges have been brought against one of its Crown Counsel prosecutors, Miss Chantrice Dorset, by the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force. The charges stem from the tragic murder of Mr. Akeem Archibald, a young man who was fatally shot with a high-powered semi-automatic rifle on July 20th, 2024. In the aftermath of this incident, the prime suspect, Mr. Kieran Phillip, also known as Tall-Up, hereafter referred to as the fugitive, fled the Federation by sea and remains at large. Following an extensive police investigation into the murder and efforts to apprehend the fugitive, Ms. Chantrice Dorset has been formally charged with the following offenses. 1. Accessory after the fact to murder. 2. Attempting to pervert the course of justice by assisting the fugitive in fleeing the Federation to shield him from a murder investigation. 3. Attempting to pervert the course of justice by assisting the fugitive in fleeing the Federation to shield him from an unlawful possession of firearm investigation. 4. Attempting to pervert the course of justice, assisting the fugitive in fleeing the Federation to shield him from a trial for the attempted murder of a person in an unrelated matter. 5. Misconduct in public office, advising and counseling the fugitive based on her knowledge as a prosecutor to assist him in evading the police. 6. Corruption, trying to use her influence as a prosecutor to get the firearm used in the murder surrendered under an amnesty program. It is also noteworthy that charges relating to the possession of the high-powered automatic rifle believed to have been used in this crime have been previously laid against the fugitive's close relative, one Mr. B.J. Tuckett, who is currently awaiting trial on remand. The DPP emphasizes that in accordance with the principles of justice, Ms. Dorset is presumed innocent until proven guilty. It remains the Director of Public Prosecution's Office duty to uphold the integrity of the judicial process and ensure that Ms. Dorset is afforded her constitutional right to a fair trial. The Director of Public Prosecution's Office also urges the general public to act with maturity and refrain, I repeat, refrain from speculating about this case based on rumors or publishing inaccurate information that could prejudice the fair trial of these charges. Inappropriate comments or speculation on social media or other public platforms could interfere with the ongoing investigation, undermine the fairness of the judicial process, and it could result in legal consequences. Examples of inappropriate comments include accusations or assumptions of guilt, statements that suggest or reveal confidential details of the investigation, speculation about the evidence or the motives in this case. The Director of Public Prosecution's Office will not hesitate to take firm action against anyone who seeks to interfere with the administration of justice through such conduct. Despite best efforts to contain information related to this sensitive case, leaks touching on the investigation have been noted. Any law enforcement officer found leaking information will face severe disciplinary and legal consequences. The DPPO reiterates its commitment to making an example of those who undermine the sanctity of the justice system by engaging in such unethical practices. The DPPO further reaffirms its unwavering commitment to the rule of law and the pursuit of justice, irrespective of the parties involved. Further updates will be provided to the public as this case progresses. Here ends my press release. And I just want to remind the good citizens of the Federation of St. Christopher and Nevis, our national motto is country above self. If you want to assist in this investigation, send the information to the right channels, not on social media.
Thank you, Mr. DPP. And I myself really don't have any intention of getting into much conversation in this regard. But there's some other clips that I have to run, and I'll definitely make my comments. But Mr. DPP, now that you have awoken, I'm going to make some time to come to your office and see you. Hope I can have an audience with you. Because now that you're in the investigative mode, I really would like you to do some investigation into why it's been so many months since my brother, the Lord Black situation, and neither the police nor the Ministry of Health has reached out to his family with any finality. And I'm going to also ask Brother Edward's family, whichever one is taking the lead on this matter, to write directly to you, Mr. DPP, for this to request this investigation, also to the ombudsman to look into this matter, because this thing is not going to sleep until we get some firm answers. Now, if you listen to that release by the DPP, that apparently one of his Crown Counsel, a prosecutor in his office, apparently assisted someone to evade the law enforcement to commit a crime. But remember that the NSA, at a press conference some months ago, you all were giving him hell, made that suggestion to individuals who know that they have commit crime to get out of the country. So I really would like to know if this Crown Counsel literally took the advice and get into some problem. But let's play that clip. Let's drop that clip.
If you know that you're involved in the murder of someone, I would encourage you to borrow some money, buy an airline ticket, and leave the island. Because it's going to cause us problems. That's as...
Okay. So that was the NSA giving that advice a few months ago. And many of you was up in arms over it. Well, it appears as though that the good Crown Counsel took that advice literally and allegedly, let me use that word, allegedly, according to the DPP, assisted someone in evading the law. And that individual has been charged. And there's a whole lot of back and forth all week in that regard. I'm going to touch that in a bit. But I want to drop a third clip here that we could understand really what is going on. Because it is not just the young lady and the NSA is an issue. We also have a situation where the AG also appears. At first, when I heard the conversation, I thought it was a one-off. But after receiving this clip, it appears as though it was more than one occasion. I tried reaching out to the AG to get some clarity before I come here this evening, but like I said, these days, I don't get return calls. I know they say they don't care. They are elected, they're in the position, so maybe Maorisha don't mean anything to them. So this is my parliament, we are trying to get some answers. So if it's something that I need to pull back, I'll pull it back. But I'm pretty sure this is not an AI. This clip does not seem to be an AI to me. So let's take a quick listen together.
Maybe Mr. Wilkins should be disclosing what's happened.
maybe Mr. Wilkins should disclose that he had failed to pay Social Security benefits for 15 months on one occasion, on another occasion for 5 months, and another one for about three or 4 months. And all of that is contrary to the law. And it is not a simple matter of just saying, oh, you just pay the fines. Because what you expose yourself to there is criminal action. And isn't this something that should be told to everybody? That if you do not pay your Social Security benefits, you are liable to be prosecuted. You hold yourself up for that.
So it appears as though, according to the judge, the AG should have been prosecuted. Where was the DPP at that time to arrest and charge the AG if they want to hold the law in good standing? I know they'll be happy to give me the full length of the pipe, if they can, to shut me down. So why is it people in certain positions can commit crimes, allegedly commit crimes, and walk free? Because they walk free. That is what's taking place here. I heard some rumors back and forth all week. I don't know how true it is, but the young lady that was charged and arrested, I understand her father is the commissioner of the prison. He's in charge of the prison. And it is alleged that he was sent on leave because he's giving preferential treatment to his daughter. And I tried to find out what do they mean by preferential treatment, because I know for a fact that in the past, individuals were charged and arrested, and they were sent up to the camp, not to be amongst the general population in the HM in 1840. So, for the life of me, I am pretty sure that this matter did not just come up on Friday. This must have been something that's been going on based on the information that the DPP presented. So why wasn't any arrangement made that if this lady or this individual in the capacity of a Crown Counsel, who is a prosecutor in the office there, why would you want to arrest that person that you claim to be innocent until proven guilty? And that's something I always have an issue with, you know. This phrase about you're innocent until proven guilty. If you're innocent, you're supposed to be free to walk the street. They lock your ass down till they feel satisfied to let you go and some kind of bond. So basically, you're treated as a guilty individual until you can prove yourself to be innocent. So for a ministry, you know, a ministry of national security with someone with the AG, a sensible individual, and the DPP, one of your personnel get caught in some problems. You're following the law, you're going to charge and arrest. The father is in charge of prison. Why couldn't an arrangement be made to put this young lady or this individual in an isolated area, because for the health and safety of that person that you say is innocent until proven guilty? You're going to put that person in the prison population. She might have prosecuted her. He might have prosecuted someone who is in prison that can hurt them. So why would you want to put that person in that situation? And if you're going to put that person in that situation, you know already in advance that the father of that individual is the commissioner of prison, why not send him on leave before? Why wait until that individual basically maybe was trying to ensure safety of the prisoner, daughter or not, son or not, doing the best he can to ensure safety of the prisoner. And some people take it as he was given special treatment. Politics have the better of us in our beloved federation, home and abroad. Because of politics, we start defending without even hearing the facts. And when we know it to be a fact, we start spinning, we start twisting. You want to kill the messenger. You don't want to get upset with the person that commit the crime. Someone commit a crime. They're a politician. They're someone you support. Instead of you hold that person foot to the fire, you're upset with the person that is the whistleblower. I mean, look at the situation with our CBI. Mr. Martinez is our lifesaver. Mr. Martinez ensured that he brings some information and we get answers that we could not get. Because under all the administration, them, we asked for information about the passport, the CBI, the status of monies. My partner, Mark Bantley, is calling for his fair share. We can't get no answers. We campaign in 2022 on the same CBI, asking questions about the passport. How many passports sold? What's the situation? Dr. Joe was on the campaign trail with the same conversation. He became prime minister. And you can't get a straight answer out of him in regards to the CBI. It's only after Mr. Martinez dropped some bombs, then we get some piecemeal answers. We still didn't get the full story yet. I am still waiting for the end of this situation because it's not ended as yet. You guys always hear the story about there's a calm before storm. There's a storm brewing. There's a storm brewing. And if we, the citizens of this country, if we say we love Prime Minister Joe, and you say you support the Labour Party and you love the country, you better speak out now, you know. Because you are going to be held responsible. You are going to feel the heat when the time comes. I do not know what oath of secrecy they sign. When they say they sign an oath of secrecy, I don't know what they sign. But one thing I know, is too much secret going on in Parliament. Parliament. Too much. We campaign on freedom of information. Public integrity. They say they enact it, but we're not feeling it. We're not seeing it. We're not seeing the freedom of information. There are many things that I have. Listen, I said last week, a couple of weeks ago, I got a folder here with some information. Even if I come for them, no problem. I have them elsewhere. I have them in external drive. I have them in several areas. So, and they're public. They are not private. They're public stuff. They're on the internet. If people know where to look, they find them. There's too much nonsense going on in this beloved federation of ours. And then we got some folks out there. Oh, Marisha cussing the government. I am not cussing the government. With the amount of information I have in my external drive, I must say drives, because I have several of them. I come here, it'll be a different conversation weekly. I am speaking out now to ensure that the people that we elect to do what they're supposed to do the right thing. I have seen too many low-hanging fruits that this government can address are not being addressed. And then you have these, I don't know what to call them, beneficiaries. Is that what we're going to call them? Because all they're talking about is what they benefit. They don't care about other people. Some weeks ago, I was speaking about poverty on the island. I was challenged that there is no poverty. But with the numbers that the Prime Minister himself released about this wallet boost, look at the population of the Federation, look at the amount of people that sign up for this assistance. That tells you. And what people don't really pay attention to, is this. Everything, when it comes to monies that the government is giving out, they ask you, you have to attach a social security number. You have to already been paying into the social security. And that is where I have an issue. Because the poorest of the poor, the needy of the needs, are the neediest, if there's such a word, is not being touched with these monies. The average person out there, many of them don't have social, never paid into social. You got folks on the side of the road, came out of school, they might be selling juice on the side, sugar cane, peanuts, boiled parch nuts, doing all kind of stuff, never paid into the social, but they're also citizens of this country and need the help and should be helped. I'm hearing our commentators, our bloggers out there, talking about these people. There's a great number of people that are not touched, no matter what stimulus after stimulus, no matter what money is given out. Money is given to criminals freely. But the needy, I see them on the street. I drive to the island. If I tell you there's a day pass that someone don't ask me for money that I don't have to give, I'll be lying. On a daily basis, as long as I walk the street, whether it's in Bastia, any place, somebody's asking for help. And the realities are what they are. We have to be honest with ourselves. Something is wrong in this country. Something is wrong with the system. There are too many people out there who are on social, getting pension, they get on boards, they got this position and that position. Some people got 4 or 5 positions. And guess what? There are some people who don't stand a chance, they have nothing at all. My partner Content are going to get upset with me now because I'm going to call his name. They send me a letter. Some years ago, I had Socrates, Star Shield, Monarch, Kent, a group of artists in New York, because what I used to do annually, whenever Carnival finished, at the time it was Carnival, not Sugar Mass, I would take the artists across to the US, Canada, wherever, and try to promote the island, try to promote the culture. And those days, Pam was in power. And in a conversation driving to Brooklyn in my van, all of us going to Brooklyn to rehearse, and Contender hit a topic that you got some people got 4 or 5 jobs and this board, that board, and that board, and some people don't have one. And I tell him that's not right. We had a good conversation about the politics. After the change of government in 95, when Labour got into power, those days, his brother director was in charge of Simaco up Newtown. Those days, my little restaurant here was operating in a circle. So I go up here to get some supplies. And director said to me, "Boy, Marisha, why don't you talk to your partner?" That's what you're talking about. He said, "My brother Contender, he and all these board, he got all these job and people not gonna job." I said, "For you?" He said, "Yeah, he and this board, he and that board, he and that board." So I said, "Okay. I'm gonna go see my boy Contender and have a conversation with him because we had this conversation previously." So I definitely went up to the Caribbean where he worked. And at the conversation, I said, boy, you and I had a conversation in New York. And I just see your brother a couple days ago. And basically, what you was complaining about, your brother say you're doing the same thing now. Government change. Continue to look at me in my face and ask me from when I start the politics. From when I start the politics. The Ola House and the Trash House. When there was not benefiting, it was a problem in the Ola House. But now the Trash House coming, they're benefiting. So don't complain about it. Stay quiet. My good people of St. Kitts and Nevis, the thing about it is, Marisha do not know where his end gonna be. But one thing I definitely not going to do is be hypocritical when it comes to this country, our people, my family, the people I love, anybody I'm involved with. I'm going to be honest and true to power. Because no matter how much you got or what you got, we're going to leave it. We come into this world with nothing on our backs, nothing on our backside. You're lucky you might leave with a brief or a panty or whatever they dress you in. Some countries don't bury in your shoes, you might get some socks or stockings. But that is all you're going to take. So why are we being this way to our citizens? Why we want to build up these numbers in bank accounts all over the world while our citizens stay here struggling, hungry, needy? I know there are people in this country that is better off than the DJ, that can do more to contribute. So while I'm doing my little with what I have, why you, the politicians? I have reached out to you all to assist other people because I know you all can assist them. I am assisting people. I'm not a politician. You, the politician, should be doing it. That's what your campaign and doing. You understand? But I don't understand why our people still cannot understand that the problem is not DJ Marisha. The problem is not the bloggers that are trying to bring the information. The problem is not Mr. Martinez, who is a whistleblower. The problem is our politician that lied to us, mislead us, give us the impression that they're going to do better when they get in there. And when they get in there, some of them is worse than what was there before. That is what we need to deal with. So, my good people, I am really looking forward to see what the Ministry of National Security or the police force going to do with my request for permission to march on the 7th of February. Because whether I get a permit or not to walk with individuals, the DJ gonna be walking, you know. And I think you all should remember under the previous administration when they turned me down. I walked by myself with over 10,000 people in line. And I will do it again because nobody gonna tell me where to walk in this country. Every inch, every foot of this island, I will walk on it. Not a soul gonna tell me where to walk. I'm not gonna walk into private properties, but on the public road, I'm going to walk. And I'm going to walk talking to my people, letting them know what I am walking for, the reason behind it. The last walk I did, I don't know if you all remember when my partner go and say, tell the police don't hear at them up, you know. It was under previous administration. Timothy Harris was the prime minister. He was under a different police commissioner. They wait until the morning of the march to approve my march. The morning of the march is when they approve my march. to ensure I could notify people to join me. But we had a good turnout. We have some people who would not be with us who was in those march. People like Earl Clark, my boy Dwyer Astafan, 70-plus-year-old man, had to be pushing Earl Clark in a wheelchair. Well, you got strong people stand up on the sideline, watch us march. Today, some of them are governor general, some of them are advisors, some of them are ambassadors. Didn't want to take the street. My boy Sam Kanda was on the street with me. My boy Big Lies was on the street with me. My boy Larry Vaughan was on the street with me. My boy DuPont, the talk copy, was there. My boy Aston, former commissioner of police, dancing commissioner, was there like he always support. Curtis Crook, a great deal of those people that was terminated from TDC. Names too many to mention, but there was there marching at a very short notice. And they understood what the march was about. At the time, Dr. Jew, who had to attend a funeral in Keon, sent a message to let me know he's attending a funeral in Keon, but he will be there before the march finish. I spoke to the police officers when we came around West Independence Square. And I said to them, I said, right now, we have been around a couple of times already in a circle. Basically, I don't want to tire out Dwyer too much more because he was pushing Mr. Earl Clark in the chair. I said, we're not going to go to 6 o'clock as planned, but I'm waiting for Dr. Drew to show up. Once Dr. Drew shows up, we're going to do one more sweep, and we're going to end the match. They said, okay, no problem. Well, to my surprise, when Dr. Drew showed up, the police came to me, tell me the match finished. An hour early, the match done. We cannot go around again. I said, but you all gave me permission until 6 p.m. This is only 5 p.m. They said, well, we got orders that the march is finished. So I am basically right now at a loss to where we are with this particular match. Because at the time, Prime Minister Joe was in the opposition. And when the march was denied the first time, Dr. Joe reached out to me and asked me what happened. And I told him what I was applying for the march for, and it was denied. And Dr. Joe went on his Facebook page and put a post that says, let DJ Marisha march. It's his right. That is what he did. And I thank him for that, for his support. Well, Prime Minister Joe, you are the Minister of National Security, the Minister of Health, the Prime Minister of the Federation. And today, it is DJ Marisha rights to march just the same. As I said before, this march could be cancelled very easily. Once the police and the Ministry of Health reach out to Concert What's family, this march could be cancelled very easily. I will forfeit my fees. But outside of that, the march will take place. Whether I am allowed to walk with people or by myself. And at the end of the day, who don't like it? Tough. Because I am not here marching against the government. I am marching to bring awareness to what's taking place in our beloved federation, because we got some people overseas. They don't care about what's going on in the federation, as long as the party in power. That is all they care about. You got some people, as long as they're benefiting, they don't care about anybody else. DJ Marisha cannot do that. I don't make up like that. I'm not makeup like that. I'm going to take a quick pause here. I got a face on the screen. A gentleman out of Queen City Navis over there in the fountain area. Tap your screen, open your mic there, brother. You know, I hope he looked like he joined properly, but I hope you know how to open his mic. I hope his secretary can help him to open his mic. Just tap the screen and tap the red icon there. Just touch the screen and tap the red icon. And I'll tell you what, while you're fighting to open your icon, I'll drop a song and give you some time. I just stay there and once you open, just hang in there for me. I'm going to drop a track and come back to you. Because I want the folks to understand, we got a nation to build here, and I need you all help to build this nation. Not about PAM and Labour, CCM, NRP. It's about the country. We came here met in good standing. Many people died for us to have the love and energy we have now, and we have to keep it for the future of our next generation. My baby girl, I have to do this for her.
2 islands.
Yeah, man.
1 country. A and B. Antigua, Barbuda.
Like we have lost our sanity and we are ready to sink this country. Tooth Moon and Sam must share the blame for spoiling our country's name.
Yeah, man.
The contributor is really to our nation's downfall. Oh me, oh my, we're not patriotic at all. But then fighting together, not among one another, is the only war we should wage. Only sober decision will prove we have come of age. Every citizen to the cause of justice must rise. We must live together and not rationalize.
Stand by.
Where is your sense of loyalty? What is your contribution to your country? None at all. Where's the concern for the suffering majority? Take gas and strikes to no good for your country. We have been afraid to make a success of this nation, but we fight and flight, no brain coordination. Whether we're fighting together, not among one another, is the only war we should wage. Only sober decision could prove we have come of age. Every citizen to the cause of justice must rise. We must live together and not rationalize. Dedicated to your country, cause with body, mind and soul. We have a nation to win, a nation to win, a country to hold. We have a nation to win, a country to hold. We're too preoccupied with politics. We make our decisions just for kicks. Various diseases are on the rise. To these and more, we're closing our eyes. Let's get down to the task of nation building, one and all. And as the anthem says, let me rise to our country's call. When it's fighting together, not among one another, is the only war we should wage. Only sober decisions will prove we have come of age.
Yeah, brother Carbo, we have a nation to build and a country to mold. As you're running back and forth, you have to stick with me. If you're going to be on the podcast, let's have a conversation. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, DJ Marishan. Good evening to your guests. You hearing me?
Yeah, welcome. Sounding
Okay.
live and lively. Let the people know who I'm speaking to. Give a quick synopsis of who is Carbo.
Yes, DJ Marishan, this is me, Trevor Cabo Cornelius. I am from Fountain. I own and operate. Well, I'm a mechanic by trade, but since the passing of my mother and the murder of my brother, I took over the business. And I rebranded in after 50 years, when we made 50 years in February 2021, and it's now Cabos. But DJ Marisha, it's really nice for the invitation to have me here, because it's just over 2 years we met. I think it was the 11th of December, to be exact, 2022, I think. And you met me in a political setting and at the same time a business setting. So I am here with you tonight to expand on a few things, be it politics, be it business, my personalities, whatever. I am here for you, I'm here for the people. And I must say, DJ Marisha, I'm really happy that you came with this program whereby the people could expand while listening to what you are putting out to them. And I see a few people sending in their messages and their comments and things. And they've been doing that for the past couple of years. So yes, I am here. And so, DJ Marisha, my major thing is, as you would know and your guests would know me, I've been trumping for small business now for 20 years. I started in 2005, and this is now 20 years. So I'm here. And as you could see the sign in the background, support small business, help grow our economy.
And I want to let the folks know that that particular sign was your sign that you used during the awareness march that I
yes,
put together in Nevis some time ago.
Right.
And for whatever reason, the people at the march should have benefit choose to boycott the march, but Carbo did not boycott the march.
I don't boycott things for us.
So Carbo, present your case. Try and bring the phone where I can see you face in the phone, because you're cutting off your face. You're a very handsome young man, so bring the phone
Thank
to
you very much.
Right, that's good. That's good. So
thank you. I have no reason to doubt.
We're here to speak about small business and the effects, because I've been speaking for weeks now about the hassle that small businesses are having in the Federation. Since COVID, small business have not caught themselves. Even though funding was given to assist the people and the businesses to get out of the COVID-19 situation, funds seems to be scarce for some people, and some people have it in abundance. Some of the complaints I am getting from some of the small businesses are they're behind in inland revenue, and inland revenue is on the back. They're behind in their payments. They're behind on skeleton. They're behind on water. They're struggling to pay the salaries for their employees. They try not to let go employees because the employees still have family to take care of. So it trickles down. And I know that you had explained to me some time ago that you had a few step workers or PEP workers, whatever, and for whatever reason they went missing. And I have always said, instead of the government giving money to individuals to stay at home, that I look at as free money. The money should be invested into these businesses, that the businesses can employ people and give them a salary and let that money go back into the economy. So talk to the people.
Well, DJ Marisha, let me tell you when this come about. I reach out to you every week, sometimes 2-3 times a week, but I know after you do the podcast, we have a conversation and I brief you on some issues that you would discuss. But DJ, it was about 2 weeks ago, I was in the garage working. And while I was there working on a car, a lady bought a vehicle and said, look, I need this to fix and look after. And when I look around, well, my son was on the other side and it was only me alone working. And I said, but wait, I need somebody now. And when I look, nobody there alone in trade. So I'm going to take this car now to reach out to the parents, the mothers especially. Get your children involved with skill training. But DJ, we moved on. I got a call last week. from the Inland Revenue. And they said to me, "Boy, you look like you ain't gonna get no business license." And I said, "Me, Cabo? I doing 4 business license. How am I ain't gonna get none?" He says, "Well, you owe Inland Revenue some money." And the authority said no business license will be issued until me, Cabo, and others give pay the money. And I like, but wait, quick thinking. So I said, but wait, so you're saying my business is gonna close, workers going home because I owe. No, DJ, you might have known my mother died in 2002. She left bills, I paid them. My brother was murdered 10 years ago. Same thing, I got to struggle with his bills and also my bills at the Inland Revenue. And I go to them and I talk to them and they're saying, well, these bills have to be paid. Now, what I'm saying is, if you don't want to have the conversation with me about these past bills, with my mother left a notice. He said, listen, whatever bills I left, you responsible, you pay. You know, you want to carry out your mother's wishes. And I'm disappointed. And I went to a gentleman and he said to me, take the government to court. But I want to say something here. And this is my reason why you always hear me talk about small business association and things like that. No one man could beat a system. If we had an association, we could have gone in force. We could have messed up these people, DJ. Now, it's been hard for me, but anyway, I pulled through. I went, I did what I had to do. I now going to renew my business license tomorrow. Now, DJ, I was talking just before, the week before the national budget reading. I've been to a supermarket to buy my produce, you know, that I would sell. And next thing, a case of Vienna sausage, I'm going to draw the reference to the Easter thing. A case of Vienna sausage was for $45 before the budget reading. After, during the budget, and a case of Magnum was for $175. During the budget reading, the Magnum went up to $175 from $135. The Vienna sausage went up to $65. I didn't buy them that day because how am I going to explain to my consumers that, hey, listen, yesterday I sold you a Magnum for $10. Now today I got to sell you for $12. So I left that alone. And when I hear people start calling and complaining, DJ, I said, wow, okay, now I could go and buy them. But it's funny enough, and I would want to say this. When I was making my plea for government assistance and to farm association and stuff like that, people were sending message to me. Okay, I want the government money. What you want from government? At the same time, this big plantation clothes they were getting. With the place over there named in OTI got some money. I think they said they had to pay back some money, but they got money when we were suffering during the pandemic and all those times. Now the business closing there and they meet this stumbling block of with the Inland Revenue. They are all calling me now. Oh, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna do it? I says, call the premier, call the representative. When I was talking, you all were putting me down. Call them. And these issues and a lot more we could expand on. And I want to say one more thing. During the pandemic, DJ, I was I gonna ask for forgiveness, but I was cheating. They almost turned me into a thief because I was selling a Carib, our beer, in a cup as a peer dweller, just to get something sell. And the drink shop were coming around to us, selling us drink, but we couldn't sell the same drink we buying. These things were bad, and up to this minute, we can't get nothing. I could talk all about, I want to say some things, so I could come with some other issues.
Yeah, well, I can appreciate your concern and what you're saying. And like you said, doesn't matter what we said tonight. I'm going to sign off at 8 o'clock, so I know we're going to have time to finish our full conversation. But I just want to put it out there that small business are suffering. Small business needs some financial injection. Simple as that. The government has a responsibility to take care of the needy. That's why we elect them. Whatever it is, they need to concentrate on the small business because the small business is the engine of this economy. I don't see us having any sugarcane out there anymore. Tourism, yes, it's tourism season, but guess what? Many of the restaurants are not getting tourists. So what happened to those people who are not getting tourists?
Okay. DJ, you talk about assistance. Now let me say this here now to you. You talk about tourists. I see 4 or 5 tourist boats in St. Kitts. One of the things I could say to the listening public, once the government get in office in St. Kitts, no matter how they tarry in opposition, once they get in government in St. Kitts, they are going to move St. Kitts to the other step. And the record is there. Denzel Douglas, when Simmons had the road over, the southeast road, this road to nowhere, who developed the same area? Same Douglas. Port Zante gonna sink. Who developed the same Port Zante? Douglas. He took it from Simmons, he put it on. Douglas lost the election. The pier they're talking about, they say, oh, they criticize the pier right down. No, the pier bought in ship. In Nevis, it's a different story. You have MUA. I remember when Patrice Nisbet was campaigning and he said, we are going to break up the monopoly so that we could have more medical school come in. You know, the government went and said, oh, Patrice ain't going to break down the medical school. Today, that same medical school up there, all the buildings that they put up there to host the student are just up there, empty. One of the members of one of the posts who called me and said, boy, me problem, I can't meet in the revenue with the idea they have. When is making money from? The hospital? If you get sick, you're dead. People not pay that bill in the hospital. You go to custom, people can bring in things. And what small business people have to understand that they are not carrying out their research. Whenever the big business is selling to the bigger business, they sell for the same price. When they sell for the smaller business people, VAT on, everything on, and the markup is on that. So we are still suffering in all aspects. I listened to a news item on Freedom. If you have $100,000 US, you could come in and start up a business, and you could get all the incentive from the government. My mother know, well, this business now started from 54 years now. You know how much millions of dollars we done invest in our country? And no incentive. So I'm saying here to the people who are listening, and the small business, I don't have to be no president, no chairman. I just want to be in a group. I call a group in St. Kitts, and I tell them I want to join the group. They say, no, you in Nevis got their own. You know, I just want to be, because we must have a voice in this country. We are not making money. We are not doing anything. Nothing has been done for us, and they are doing for us. I know we got half an hour, but you know, and I want to say this to you again. Even the dealers who are serving us, even them are giving us when you look at 2020, I put it into the Caribbean and I said, listen, I'm with Brandon, I need a logo, my sign, everything with carbos. They said, send me. I send them all the information. 2021. To date, nothing done. I walked on by Chill Sunday night. Chill just open less than a year. All Chill logo, everything down there on the Clive side. You know, I mean, all these things we are suffering from the hands of the government and from the hands of the big merchant.
Yeah, that is for sure. And that is what I was trying to speak on earlier, because I don't understand that the people who has a social security number are already benefiting in some way. There is many individuals who don't have the luxury of a social security number because they don't have that means. They don't have the skills. They don't have the opportunity. As a matter of fact, I took a walk across to Social Security office last week to get some clarity. And I asked the young lady there if there is an age limit and a criteria for social. She told me, yes, the age limit is 16. You must be 16 years of age and you must be employed to get a social. And basically that is the criteria they use for everything here to help you. Now, in the US and other jurisdictions there, the social is something automatic when you're born, you know. Your social and your birth certificate is one of the same. They comes together. If your parent don't want to apply for the social, it's up to them. But that social comes with you from birth, and that is where you're identified. Now, they have these censuses that they take regularly throughout the island. Are you telling me that the administration in Nevis, the administration in St. Kitts, they only take these censuses for election purposes to know how much votes they have? They don't take these censuses to know the people that they're supposed to help when they're elected. That is what we're dealing with.
Well, you see, DJ, you said something earlier when I started to listen, and I think it's the BBW or BB, whatever it is, with this.
Yeah, the wallet, the boss.
The wallet. Yeah. I think they missed the boat again. Timothy did miss it, and now I think you missed it again. Now you could tell me, I can't go to Kuwait and get the oil benefit. No, that is for the Kuwaiti. Somebody could come to Nevis a year ago from Dominica, from Antigua, from Jamaica, wherever in the world, come to Nevis and as long as they're under 62, they could get passport money, even though they might only have a work permit, paying a little social security. This is the passport money. This is our patrimony. Every man in the country who born from the age of, let's say, 18, 20, as you just said, up to whatever age, entitled to that passport money. If you give, let's say, for example, a man from St. Lucia, or let's say Dominica, just to call a name, I'm not targeting nobody. If you could give them the money, and then their country got the same thing, they could left Nevis and go Dominica and get the same money. Where can we go to get out that money? Nowhere. We can't get it. So we are not benefiting from ourselves. And this is what the politicians are fooling the people with. And one other thing too, you mentioned something about my friend Darset, and I want to say my heart goes out to him. I'm going to sing it to meet with him next week. He's my friend. But you're telling me he got terminated or he got put on leave because he given the data preferential treatment. Well, let me tell the general public, I had dreadlocks as a Rastaman. I learned my trading locks. And one of the things we used to say as Rastaman, the man who pray will seem to do the work, but in all he possess, self-preservation come first. You must preserve yourself first. You think me gonna knock out my daughter, my grandson? What I'm doing here tonight, DJ, I may not get no result for me, but I'm sure when this take place in the next 15, 20 years, my grandson is gonna say, this is what my grandfather stood for, and he's going to carry on this. So when you are talking, DJ, and I am talking, and the rest of the people are writing, they're not only writing for us. We're only making an awareness, but it's our children and grandchildren. No politician supposed to come in and stop that. None.
Well spoken to Brother Cabo. Well, like I said, we don't have much time this evening, but I want to make sure before we leave this line, you tell the people what special you're having this weekend, and more so, Valentine's is around the corner. I do not know if you remember, the 15th is my birthday. I may not be in Nevis, but you're going to make sure you freeze me go to water for the 15th.
Don't worry about that. Left the part there. That part be taken care of. Left out that.
All right. Because if I don't let me go to water for my birthday, we're going to have a problem.
Let me just say this, DJ. Let me say, you're going to get more than go to water, trust me. DJ, let me just say this. Yes, the reason why I'm so late on the program, you know, I buried my adopted brother today, Joseph Belgrave, Massey. My mother adopted him when he was 4 years old. And so, you know, he died on the 29th and we buried, well, on the 10th, and we buried him today, the 29th. So that's why I'm so late. And I had to do some fungi and fish for my brother Calbo, who came over to show some solidarity. So that's why I was doing the fungi, and he insisted that's what he wanted, along with some other folks from St. Kitts. So I want to apologize to the general public and to you, DJ Marisha. Now, I want to say this. On Easter, the 5th going to the 6th, my brother was brutally murdered. And so for this year, going to be 10 years because it was 2015, and we are going to have Pabby's Day celebration as Easter Saturday, as it always has been. And so he left a wrap bottle of local Hammond. And so we are going to sell a shot of that for $10 along with the other things that we have. But if for Valentine's, we are taking requests. If you need your favorite delicacy, carbo delicacy, goat water, fundium fish, banana fish, whatever you need, just call. And I would really want to do the service as I started to do. And DJ, I would have to thank you. I know you say you have a couple more minutes, but I could thank you now and thank you later. When we met 2 years ago on December 11th, as I said before, you came over to cover the campaign, and then we did go. You had a sample of the delicacy that day, and ever since you've been pushing the business. And DJ, I really want to thank you. Thank you very much. I can't pay for it. Please don't send me a bill because I'm on oil. But I want to thank you for what you've been doing for Carbos, and I really want to wish you well along with your program. And I know the people love you for what you are doing for them, because as I would write when I wrote, you're a straight shooter and you look after the people's interests. And I would send a little warning to Dr. Jew. He's doing good. He pulled some stops out where he meanwhile, I would want to give him another try, but I want to tell him next month gonna be his test. So if he can pull you by April, February to April, I think he's gonna have an uphill battle. But Joe is on the right track. You just need to tweak a few little things. He will get it right.
Well, as I said before, I supported him based on the individual I met. He still have my full support. But if you love someone and you support someone, you got to also show them where they might be wavering. If you don't do that, then you might as well say you're not supporting, because you cannot tell somebody they're going the right road when they're dropping over in the sea. All right? So I will continue to speak truth to power and hope that he make those adjustments, because if you don't make those adjustments right now, there are too many people around the party that is basically a weight, dead weight. They're not no use to the party, they're dead weight to the government.
Well, I would understand that, and what I would want to say here, and I would want to warn government, when people elect you to government, it's not a job. It's an election to serve. You have to serve the people. And I've seen government leaders, politicians in power, in office, make too many mistakes. And I could point out some in Nevis myself. Patricia Bartlett herself made some comment. I know what she mean. I know what she's talking about. And anybody make any comment, Marisha, you know, you make some good comments and they say, Marisha not supporting Jew and Labour. Far from the truth. Now, what I'm saying is, Patricia made a comment and people say, oh, Dale himself makes some comment and Mark is posting the comment. But we have made some comment. Those things don't mean anything to me. Mark Bantley himself made some comment. What the premier gonna have to watch? He's the premier. You just can't put a comment that people make. You now have to do the things that would propel the country forward. Pat could always talk. Who Pat representing? NRP? She might be a candidate. That doesn't mean much. She's just an ordinary individual. The premier is the premier of the country that put down the mandate. It set the policies in place. You got to run it. It is my right, your right, the opposition right, and people who are not supporting you to go on and say the things that you are doing not to their likeness. Even though your supporters are going to say, you're right, then no, you're not right. So I'm saying to the premier and to you, the prime minister, done with the way. Stop telling me about the previous government. We eradicate them, we move them away and give you the chance so that you could serve us and serve us right. So all these comments that Mark posts in back and forth, they're a trivial thing. Them they are little petty things. Send them in your little post in our chat. Send them for your errand boy to make, not you. Patricia Bartlett got right to say whatever she got to say. When the campaign come now, she might have the chance to say exactly what she mean. and Mark would have the chance to put it down. But this is not time for campaign. This is the time for service. And this is the mistake politicians are making. You elect them to serve, and they are serving other people to keep them in a job. Politics is not a job, it's a service.
But Cabo, you're correct with that, What Patricia Bartlett said, I heard it for myself. And it is clear what she's saying is that you cannot just have people who just come out of university or out of training to be there. You have to have experienced people to guide them. Is that a simple, straightforward statement? You have a mechanic shop or a body shop, like you say. There are different formula that you might have used to make the job easier or better. A new person who just come out of school who don't have any practical experience would not know those things. I can say to you that I see many people out there posting they have this university for business and this and that. What you have, the practical experience. You can just come out of Cuba or wherever the US with your university graduation certificates for politics, whatever. You cannot compare to my 40 plus years of service in this business.
Precisely. No, you see what happened, DJ? You just touched on a point and it's so fitting. I have a vehicle in my yard presently. A guy bought it Monday. He just got it painted 2 weeks ago and he's not pleased. And I asked him, well, look, paint this. He said, bring it to paint over. And I said, you could see the color look new. It's like something been done to it, but it's not smooth. It's not the way it should be done. And he said, what can you do to it? Then I said, don't tell me how much you pay to do it. But this is what you're going to pay now to do it. He said, okay, thank you. Now I said, add this what I'm going to charge you now to what you paid before. And that's what it costs you to fix the vehicle. Whereas you could have just bring it and it would have probably cost him less. So yes, people, you have the experience, the practical experience, the years of experience. I have a sister, I have a cousin who is a doctor, and I went to her and talked to her. I said, listen, any question you want to ask, call Bal Rollins and ask him. Call any doctor and ask them. And along with your training. Don't study nobody because you need this practical training. I mean, Dr. Jew administration just brought some professional, by JNF to train the people. They were there working, but he's a professional. You brought them every once in a while, a doctor have to go back to refresh. So if the lady make a statement, take it and says, boy, yeah, let me move on and do what you have to do. So this back and forth, I believe in a leader who's going to lead and a government who's going to serve. That's my belief in.
Yeah. And another problem I realize we got here, Carbo, is this, because I have been around the US territory training many people. And I can say to you, because of their Caucasian, because their color, I guarantee if those people was to come to St. Kitts to train some of the people here who are less experienced than I, they would accept them with open arms.
Before they accept you?
Before they accept me, the person that trained those people. Yeah. I've seen the attitude. I have seen it. Yeah. Low-hanging fruits that can be resolved. We are not doing it because we don't have respect for our own.
Right. DJ, I went to Barbados, Samuel Jackman Prescott Polytechnic. And how I got to Barbados, I was training some persons for sit-up Canada Training Award project. And when I trained them, they were well trained. I learned my trade with Striker and Priest. And they're brothers, by the way. And the guy asked me, the delegation asked me, but wait, where you went to train? Where you get the certificate? I said, I don't have a certificate. He said, okay, you train these guys, they have certificate. No, we're going to send you Barbados. So I had to go Barbados just to get the theoretical training. But I have the practical. When I reach in Barbados, I'm in the class falling asleep. And the guy got up and the guy said to me, Arthur Lashley, this guy is a good worker. Anyway, you're going to do your exam on a car. I painted 2 cars. The man said, but wait, what I sent you for? I said, just to get it here in the paper. I got my certificate and I came back here. I was supposed to go in the high school. This was in 90. I was supposed to go in the high school. Government change in 1992. Never touched that. The project in school closed down. So the government prefer to see things closed rather than get the hands-on from your own people. And that is why we in Nevis will suffer more than Sinkits, because Sinkits would always uplift, but we Nevis suppress.
Well, Sinkits might do better than Nevis, but they suppress as well, because I can say this to you. When I went to electrical school, I was already an electrician in the US Virgin Islands working. I was a part of the National Guard and all that good stuff, going to Puerto Rico and weekends to be a part of the team. And the theory end of things is what I really went to electrical school for, to be certified. The practical end of things, I actually was teaching the class. The teacher sit back and allow me to teach the class because I was more experienced practically than the teacher. The teacher was a very good theory, very good at Ohm's law. Very good, very talented. But when it comes to the practical, he didn't have it. I got a meritorious certificate for teaching the class that I attend. I joined the NYPD a couple of years ago, and I listened to the captain and the sergeant and them talking about we never had 100% in the theory for that precinct. And I listened to them and I challenged myself. And out of that course, I was the only officer that got 100% in theory. Is that simple?
Don't tell that to us. Don't tell that to us, because you see, the thing is, and we're not half small business, but when you look at these things, like someone said, they want me on a program, but they don't want me to talk about politics. And I said, well, sorry. No, the politicians are who make the policies. They're the one who got us in this stranglehold. So what are you going to talk about? You got to talk about who got you in this stranglehold. So I am saying here now, I mean, look at it. The world is saying Cabo is the best when it comes to Cabo's delicacy goat water. I have no reason to doubt. Not one person, well, I wouldn't say that. A lady from the state, I think Julisa, she came, she worked with me for 2 Saturdays, and she said she interested. People only take it for a joke. When I send the delicacy to America, in Cabo Delicacy, Fountain Village and the number, this immigration called me and said, listen, this is my name, I'm immigration, calling the name. Next time you're selling this delicacy up here, send me one. And this lady took it up. So even though you see Twiller and Denny and all those people coming here, they come and Vona and all these Morgan, they're coming to support. They're coming to give support. They are not going to come Nevis and not to come to Cabo to support. And I want to say thanks to them and to you, DJ, like I said, and to Arville Manners, Glenn, Patrick, the whole crew, And I am doing something now to be ready for the Pabby's Day in April. So maybe I might have to come back on your program so that I could give a good highlight of what I'm doing and to invite some people.
That's not a problem, Cabo. You're welcome anytime. You got the password, save it. Just let me know when you want to pop through. But one of the biggest supporter out of Nevis lives in the Bronx, New York, who supports everything. When I say everything, you got to give it to Queen Hazel Claxton. She supports everything and everyone. And when you come back to Nevis, there's a young lady by the name of Loretta Tyson, the Mango Tree Bar.
God bless her.
Very strong supporters. So
DJ, forgive me a minute there. I can't see you. I can't see the comments and stuff like that and some of the people. But I know it's coming up to 10 minutes. And before we get slip away and somebody meet me tomorrow and tell me, if I don't call your name, people believe me. My heart is with you. Loretta Tyson called me and said, you just use these here. DJ, I'm telling you, some big battle seasoning. She sent for me. I don't think she want me to say it, but I have to say it. And she promised me some other stuff. And she never one day says, listen, Cabo, you don't send me little goat water. She don't send me this. You understand? Loretta sent somebody to buy goat water. When I know it was Loretta, is when I got the money in my hand. And the guy was eating some himself. And he said, Loretta don't love this. That's when I know, because I would have said Loretta goat water. But she didn't want that. She wanted to know I give you something because I want to help you, as she said. Margaret Taylor, she right there. I want to say good night to her because before I came on, I saw her and Gigi William and man, your whole crew. I can't see all you. Please, I can't see you all. But I know Twila is there. I can't see you, but trust me, they don't call me and we will talk.
Yeah, for sure. I also want to big up my boy Mikey Slack. He never let me down whenever I come across to Nevis. Sometimes I come across here just to take a quick run to the hot water bath. All I have to do when I'm docking is to call Mikey and say, Mikey, where are you? Say, Marisha, no problem, I'm there. Drop me to the bath. Whenever I'm ready finish, he dropped me back to the boat. So Moffat is not around anymore. She was also someone in Nevis that really look out for me. And Sister Chanel also there to transport me. But our boy gonna be upset with you, because he put in a comment there. But Alvin Brown is because of
I was gonna come to don't even say it. I look at the time just now and I said we got 8 more minutes. I want to use 5 minutes to call some name, and then I know you could use 3 minutes to round up.
You don't got 8 minutes, because I got my song, I got my closing song. But do you think?
Alvan is very stubborn. Alvan is stubborn. I was telling Alvan once in a while he need to come to Nevis and do a little promotion and work with some samples. But he want me to come to Sink It first, and I don't blame him. Because if I go Sink It now, I can't find him. But Alvan, listen, my heart is with you. Arville Manners, Glendale Herbert. I mean, let me tell you, these people, my heart is with them. Arville live here, Glenn live here, as you know. I mean, Dean, these people are living here. Janice Daniel Hodge, thank you for your support. Mark Brantley, thank you. Mark practically live here. I haven't seen him for a year, but he gonna listen tonight and he gonna come weekend. But whoever, whatever, but DJ, whatever we do and whoever we name, we are calling, and you're gonna miss some. Some people came over from St. Kitts to support. Happiness Matters. DJ, trust me, everybody who listen to me, thank you. Everybody who come to Cabos to show support, thank you. I know they are listening, and I want to say thank them. Thanks to my family, and my Livingston, and thank everybody. Disco Livingston, he used to work with me, still work with me, and I want to say thanks to him. DJ, it's a really, really good pleasure to be on this program. We're going to do it the next time when I don't have a debt to bury. But I want to spend some time with you so we could elaborate on some stuff. So, for the people who are listening, it was really nice to be here. This is me, Kiawa, as you could see. Kiawa, we're not changing, we're only improving. And this is the logo here. Help support small business, we help build our economy. Rumors will talk in twos.
That's the idea. And your cousin said to tell you good night. Sister Margaret Taylor.
Oh, yes. Yeah. That's my dear cousin.
When I was in the UK, Margaret did not give me a break. From the cemetery to the repast. When I thought I got away from Margaret, she came over and she squeezed my hand. When she let go my hand, there was some money in some pounds put in my hand.
You can get it open. Yeah, man, all Juliet Brandon in New York area and Terrence Perry. DJ, so much people. But the next time I come here, I got 2 hours with you, and we're gonna do a good thing, a good back show.
All right, partner. And unfortunately, because of the time constraint, is now 5 minutes before the 8 o'clock hour. I don't have time to say good night to folks. I apologize for that, but I'm going to drop the unofficial anthem of the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis. This one is called Arise by the late, great The King Arrow. So, Cabo, we'll talk soon.
Well, DJ, thank you, and thank you very much. Once I'm on your short time, I'll run fast. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. I want to big up my baby girl there. This one is called Arise by the late, great King Arrow.
unification, building a brand new nation. We move on together hand in hand. Rise, citizens, arise. The country is yours, all yours, still yours. Can your conscience be clear? Indulging corruption or misusing public office, being accused of unemployment and crimes, or disrupting a citizen's peace. Oh, my country in this harmony, separated politically. Hatred for a brother, cannot love each other. No, I say no, brother, no. Citizens, let's unite and stand up for rights, all our lives and our lives. Let us reintegrate and correct all mistakes. Reunification, building a brand new nation. We'll move on together hand in hand. So arise, citizens, arise. The country is yours, all yours, still yours.
Yes, my good people, and this brings us to the end of yet another Wednesday evening where we come and talk the things them. Look forward to seeing you guys next week as we jump into my birth month. The conversation continues. I want to thank my brother there, the man, Brother Cabo, for joining me this evening. Don't forget, check out Cabo on Saturday for his usual delicatessens, goat water, fungi fish, whatever you want. Just pick up the phone and touch the man Cabo. I want to also say good evening, good night to the Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Terence Joe and his family. We might talk the things I'm here, my brother, but you got our support. We just want you to keep your head up, do the right thing for the people of the Federation that you was elected to take care of. Until such time, my good people,